Hi, welcome to day 3 of How to Find Your Purpose in 3 Days Challenge. I should probably change the name of that to 4 days because tomorrow is going to be the actual. Okay, now that you've tackled the 3 major things that usually stand in our way to finding our purpose. Hey, Jasmine, how you doing, babe? Then, how do you actually find your purpose? Hi, Kim. Hi, Kadra. Welcome. Hi, Kimberly. Oh, my doves. My little loves. Oh, so good to see you guys. Hi, Mandarava. 3 days in a row. I love it. Hey, Martina. You too. Hi, everybody. Hi, Alexis. Welcome back to day 3. Aw, yeah. Hi, Joanna. Boom! Ready for today. Hi, Anne. Cool. Wow. It's funny because I can't really see my cleavage, but what I can see of it's pretty low down. Hi, Rach. Welcome. Sweet, 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 sweet. So first of all, did you have fun researching all the ways that you can make money showing up and being you? That was your task, that was your assignment for last night, was to get online. I know, I can see that. To get online and find out how you can, I love that, Kim, how you can make money just being you. Miss Kimberly had a rough day and she was thinking, I need Abby. Ta-da! The universe delivers me right to you. Hi, Jess. What's going on today, Miss Kim? Tell us what's going on. Other than that, what did you find out for how you can get paid to be yourself? What can you do? Let's hear it. Yay! Alexis has felt so awesome the last few days. Welcome to my world. Although my darlings can testify that it's not always fluff balls and rainbows, because sometimes we have to do the very uncomfortable process of growing. But it doesn't have to be painful, and it doesn't have to be unpleasant. It can always be done with as much grace and effortlessness and ease as possible. So while you're telling me what you found out yesterday, I do want to answer. Rach. Well, honey, it's not like you have anything going on right now. Oh boy. Yeah, you've got a lot going on this week. I want to answer a couple questions that I saw showing up in the group, one on our Q&A. Hi, Sherry, welcome. One on our Q&A post, and then one on the video from yesterday. Oh, hi, Wendy. Welcome back, Miss Kimberly. Yeah, you're going through that rough stuff with your boyfriend. I'm so sorry. And no luck for your new sales job. Judy's here. Yay. And then lots of thinking about trying to decide if this new job is aligned with your purpose. Oh, babe, I can tell you right now it's not. No, because you weren't put on this planet to work for someone else. What this new job is here for is just to give you some income and some stability while you are developing your actual thing. Does that make sense? So no, it's not going to be in alignment with your purpose, because you did not show up for that. Mandarava's been getting paid, just not enough. Except she can invest more, so she has more opportunities and get more out of her comfort zone. Perfect. Love it. Love, love, love that. So someone posted, I'm trying to think. Oh yes, it was someone in Europe. How do you tell the difference between feeling uncomfortable doing something and actually being misaligned? So that's a really great question, and it's incredibly important as you are moving through this process of exactly what you were doing today, Kim, trying to figure out, is this job aligned with me, or am I just feeling uncomfortable because I'm growing, right? And yes, comfort zone is comfortable. So let's see. I want to get into the feeling of this. How do you tell the difference between doing something uncomfortable because it's growth and because it's misaligned? Oh, cool. My team has some clarity for you. I'm like trying to be like, how would I? And they're like, stop thinking about it. We've got some answers for you. Okay, first of all, misalignment feels like nails on the chalkboard of your soul. It sounds like a violin playing out of tune. It's playing the right song, but it's playing it out of tune. Something just feels off, right? Whereas when you're aligned, there's that kind of knowing, there's a click, there's a knowing that you're moving in the right direction. There's just that expanded feeling of discomfort. But can you take us granularly, I'm talking to my team right now, can you take us granularly into the position of someone who might not be completely 100% in alignment with their intuition? Yes, great, thank you. Okay, so if you're not in alignment with your intuition, therefore, you can't really tell, right? You can't really tell if the discomfort that you're feeling is because of growth or because of misalignment. Discomfort because of growth is going to feel like you're being stretched too thin, like a piece of parchment paper that's just being stretched out a little bit too thin, almost like cling film. What do you guys call that? Saran wrap. Almost like saran wrap that's stretched to its breaking point, and you just know that in a minute it's going to tear. That's the discomfort from expansion. Whereas the discomfort from misalignment, for me, it feels like, it literally sounds like a violin playing out of tune. It feels like nails on the chalkboard of my soul. It feels like my skin is, well, no, because that comes with growth too. I was going to say it feels like my skin is itchy and like my bones want to crawl out of my skin. But no, I get that when I'm expanding as well. It's almost like the top layer of skin is being peeled off when I'm growing. So I wouldn't use that as a marker. More use that feeling of being stretched, almost like the thought that keeps coming up when you're going through a massive expansion is, I can't handle this, right? Okay. And probably many of you can relate to that. So that would be, hi everybody, Glynis is here, Angie is here, Steph is here, Shanita is back. Love it, love it. And then we have Steven, Castle. Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Castle. Ebony is here. Yay, welcome. So hopefully that made sense. Let me know. Alexis found out she can be her bubbly self and go out and strike up a conversation with almost anyone and let the world know that life can be changed one step at a time. I love it. Yes, Alexis, that feels so empowered. I love that. Jasmine researched, quote, stalked the agent she wants to submit her manuscript to, and now she knows where to go. It's a start. That's fantastic. I love it. And you can also do some research about what kinds of scripts they've accepted in the past and worked on. So that is amazing. Joanna feels like she's already started doing what she's here to do, but it's definitely a challenge to juggle and feel like it's generating enough. I totally get that. Yep. Totally, totally, totally. That makes so much sense. Yay. Yes, it does. It physically hurts sometimes when we're expanding and growing. It does physically hurt and it feels very uncomfortable. I totally relate to that. Yes. And then a second question is, Antoinette had a question on our Q&A post, which was, you know, everybody else in the regular world talks about setting goals and SMART goals, and you have to have a date by which to set your goal. And she's heard me on several different occasions mention that the moment you start setting yourself goals, especially ones that have a timeline associated with it, that you have immediately limited yourself, because we don't know what the universe has planned for us. We might have a goal to get to 10,000 by December, right? Or July. And for some of you, that might seem like a stretch, you know, especially if it's your side hustle or something like that. But the universe might have planned for you to get to 15,000 next month. But when you become so, oh, thank you, Stephen, I so appreciate that. But when you become so entrenched with the way that you're supposed to do things, what you do is you completely ignore any intuitive hits that are coming in to connect with this person or have a conversation here or do a post in this group, or, hey, this is a new offer that wants to be presented tomorrow, get to work, right? Or, you know, like my team drops in on me, hey, do this 3-day challenge next week. And I'm like, can you give me 3 more weeks? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay. Cool, then here I am, you know. So when we are so just really entrenched in that logic and needing to do things like in a linear fashion, we're completely ignoring the fact that the cosmos does not move linearly. It moves in quantum leaps, right? Case in point, try to create a 5-year plan. Try to create a 1-year plan for 2020, my loves. Start in January and create a 1-year plan of how you're going to get to your goals in 2020. Oh, wait a minute. Wait just a cotton picking second there. All that time that you spent creating that linear plan, creating those action steps is all for nothing, for naught, because you literally had to throw that entire thing in the trash. It's not that we don't, right? It's not that we don't want to plan. We have to plan, right? But more financially, and we can set up like goals and markers for ourselves as far as when to take action when the money is in our bank, right? Not spending before we have it, not committing to things that we don't know if we're going to pay for. Well, I still do that, right? We don't know if there's going to be a major global pandemic in 2 months when we sign up for something. So, you know, it's all based on intuition. It has to be. It's the only thing that exists. So the question is, how do you stay on the path? How do you stay on your divine path without setting any rules? And what does that look like? Antoinette was asking for an example because that feels fucking scary, doesn't it? Right? So, love this. So I'm going to just scroll up a little bit so I can make sure to get the rest of your questions. So the way that you stay on your path with that is actually really, really simple. Yes. The way that you stay on your path is by staying connected to your intuition. And that's literally it. You stay connected with your intuition and you take aligned action. And the reason that's the only way is, number one, cosmically, we're having multiple timelines collapse and condense into each other, which means that pockets of opportunity. How do you combine the word pockets and opportunity together? Pockettunity. It's perfect. Oh, I'm so brilliant. I cracked myself up. Anyway, I digress. Pockets of opportunity are opening up now that have never previously existed before and may never exist again. This next 6 years is going to be the most potent. And then what's 15? And then the 9 years after that are going to be only slightly less potent, but still incredibly potent, right? The next 15 years are going to be the most potent time that has ever existed in the history of this planet. So this is how I imagine it. I'm super visual. So when things pop into my brain, especially guidance from my team pops into my brain like in a very visual way. So it's kind of like we're in a temple on Indiana Jones style, right? Or National Treasure style. And the staircases are moving. And just for a moment, they connect, okay? And it's intuition that lets you know it's time to move from here to here, okay? And you have to, and that's your one opportunity, because once the staircases disconnect, they will never come back together in that way ever again. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have more opportunities come up at other times, but in this manner, in the most efficient, effective way, These staircases are connecting in a way that's going to literally quantum expand your business and your life in a way that's just not possible to predict, right? And Ashley's here. She's a great example of this. I love telling this story. So here you go, Ash, you get to hear your story again. So just because it's one of the most recent examples of quantum expansion with no linear or logical explanation. Okay, so when Ash signed up with my program, No Hustle Millionaire, she and I know this is embarrassing for you, but you know how inspirational this story is. So she couldn't afford to go for lunch with her mentor, and she had to cancel it. And she got that intuitive hit that it's okay to cancel, and she canceled that lunch with her mentor, and it was rescheduled 3 weeks later, two weeks later, right? Because it's 3 weeks between your first and second session. And then 2 weeks later, her lunch was rescheduled with her mentor. And it just so happened that during lunch, there were these guys sitting behind them that came over and started thanking her mentor, who she was at lunch with, for the profound impact that she had had on the community, on them. They attributed a lot of their success to this lady that Ashley was having lunch with. And they were just telling her excitedly everything that they'd created. And I believe this was the first time they'd actually ever met her in person. So they were excited. She was happy. Ash was like, oh, this is cool. She didn't know what was about to happen, the craziness that was about to happen. Then they start to talk about a build that they're doing, and they're looking for a marketing agency. And then all of the sudden, Ashley's mentor turns to her and says, turns to the guys and says, well, you should hire Ashley. Ashley has a marketing agency. And they're like, okay. So they get into a conversation. They start emailing backwards and forwards. And keeping in mind that Ashley's regular clients usually spend between 5 and 8% of their entire project budget on their marketing. That is kind of like the statistical average. So then she asked them what their budget was for their project. And it turned out their budget was $600 million. She submitted a proposal for $4.5 million, just like that, just overnight. There is absolutely no way, my loves, that you can possibly predict that kind of quantum expansion within a very short space of time, all right? So that is why intuition and aligned action is literally the only thing. It is the only thing that is possible. It's the only way that you know what your divine path is. We are fluid, effortlessly changing, constantly different people from moment to moment. And my group knows this because we did an identity dissolving a few weeks ago. Because the moment you attach yourself to a specific set of rules or a specific set of identities is when you're already limiting yourself. So even just like having this idea that this is the way that my path is going to unfold, and then trying to follow that like strategic action plan, it's never going to go. Why? Because what if Abby does a 3-day challenge and you are an entirely different person from the start of the challenge to the end of the challenge? What if you sign up for 12 days of breakthroughs and from day 1, you're an entirely different person? Right? We can never predict which way our path is going to go. And sometimes it feels like, oh, Johanna's here. Hi, Johanna. Sometimes it feels like our path is off when really it's just the one that we were always meant to take, right? Our path is never going to be straight, and it's not going to be easy. It can be simple, but there's so many lessons that we have to learn on the way. Okay, so Castle is already planning some musical collabs with an amazing artist and working towards getting better recording equipment. Yay! Awesome! And Steven says there's so many timelines, things that may come into your world before you ever reach it, right? With these collapsing timelines, we're just like, zoop! What we expect should take, right? XYZ planning, and then this marketing, and then this implementation. Like my coach, for example, has like a 9-step implementation that takes about 40 days, right? And Safira and I have a conversation. Safira's like, no, the universe wants you to work quicker. Figure out how to do it in less time. And I'm like, oh yeah, phew, I don't have to figure anything out because my team will tell me literally every step of the way. So Miss Joanna says, how can you tap into your team to get that insight? There are many different ways that you can do it. One of the ways I recommend is just starting off really gently. I have a class in my Divine Money Manifesting group that is called How to Tell the Difference Between Fear, Logic, and Intuition. There is a book called The Angel Code by Chantal Lisette, which is really cool for tapping into your actual angel team. And essentially, just the more you trust, the stronger your connection gets. Alrighty. Yes, Shanita, you are anything but linear. I know, right? Global pandemic. We haven't had a global pandemic since the early 1900s. What are the odds that one would come back? Gee, 0, and yet here we are. Oh, I love that. Learning to do business, relying on intuition for 3 years. It's so powerful. It's the quickest way. And Allison is struggling today, but she's here. Gorgeous. We receive you. We're all putting lots of beautiful, yummy love and light around you, Miss Allison. It's okay to have a struggling day. Welcome to humanity. You're not different. You are perfect just the way that you are. Stephen says, it can be challenging to shed the old gold setting pressure paradigm. Yes, because everybody teaches it. And there is no one who's not teaching it except for me. Literally. I've not met anyone who's not teaching it. So I totally get that. Yes, Castle's feeling the shift. Perfect. Jaquise is here. Livon, hi. Yay. I love Cliff and Marta. They are the bee's knees. Ash, you love it when I tell your story. So good. Yes, a serious what the fuck moment. Love it. I know, me too. Hi, Nicholas. Welcome. Gorgeous. Yep, Judy's not planning anything. She's just doing what's right in front of her face. Yay! And Castle just followed the synchronicity that the universe handed her. Beautiful. Steven says it's hard to do business when he needs to interface well with linear people. I can definitely relate. And then there's a shift that happens, Steven, which is one of deep acceptance, where you can actually it's almost like you shift, and there's this not a better or worse thing, right, my loves? We're not here being we have the best way, even though I think it's the best way, because I think that living a life of ease and effortlessness and flow cannot beat hustle. No, always beats hustle, right? Hustle can never be anything that's ease and flow. So I have a personal opinion about it, but that doesn't make me better or worse, right? We'll just put that disclaimer. But then it's almost like when you know you're living above the fray, when you know you're living above logic and reason and super linear thinking, it's almost like kind of being a young, this sounds like I think it's better, but it's not, so just take me at face value. But it's almost like you can be so patient and kind, like a young kindergarten teacher working with, some kids who are trying to tie their shoes. It's like you move into a space of compassion where it doesn't trigger you anymore, where you're just like, oh, I can see you're trying so hard, and that just doesn't seem like the way that you want to do it anymore. Why? Why do you want to do it that way? Why don't you just let that go? Do it the easy way. So when that shift happens, it's much more easy to interface with people who are a little bit more linear. Yay! Rachel, well, same thing, same difference. Rachel has only done one exercise and she's talking to her angels already. Scheduling can be hard when you explain you do it all by feel. Yep. For me, kind of how I do it is I have my set schedule that I am always willing to work. So I have the set appointments. I do 10, max 12 appointments per week. And that's it. And I know the times that I feel energized to work. So that's how I deal with scheduling. And if it doesn't fit, it just doesn't fit. Like right now, all my beautiful darlings can tell you I'm booked about 8 weeks out if they want to get an appointment with me, which they've prepaid for, by the way. So if they want to get on my calendar, they have to book like 6 to 8 weeks out, because I do not. I'm very rigid with my downtime and with my me time and with my family time and with my daughter time and with all the other times. Wendy, does it always have to be a roller coaster ride? Yes, but sometimes the roller coaster can be like a gentle wave. It doesn't always have to be like, right? That's not, it's not kind. Doesn't feel comfortable. Oh, you can help others make these jumps, but then when it comes to you not, yeah, lots of limiting beliefs, babe. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots exist there. So really great questions. Really, yes. Shanita says she needs this right now because yesterday she was disappointed to hear your vibration coach subscribe to the concept of hard work. Oh, I know, it's so disappointing when someone that we look up to is actually subscribed to old paradigm. It's hard, and then it's time to go, love, 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 love. It's time for me to find someone who actually prescribes to the ease and flow model, which is the new model. The hustle model is done, it's dead. Obsolete. It's done in November of last year. And it's okay because it's going to take about 6 years for all of the coaches, maybe 15. Some of them are never going to catch up, I hear. Oh, dang. Some of these coaches and leaders and healers are never going to catch up with this new way. You guys are at the cutting edge of doing things by being here. So here we go. And Steph says it happened to her a few days ago. She asked for it and boom, smash. The entire paradigm of linear modeling crashes and tinkles by your feet. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so today our class is about, so day 1 covers I am not valuable enough. So I don't have what it takes. So it's an internal valuation on who you are as a being. Day 2 covers what I want to create and what I want to do just doesn't exist in the outside world. So that is an external valuation. That what you want is simply not possible, right? Today, we're going to kind of bridge those worlds, which is that what I want is possible for other people, not me. So there's something wrong with me that stops me from being able to do it, even though other people can do it, okay? Yes, we're the Avengers. Yes, exactly, just like you just said. And by the way, I really loved, hi Denise, welcome. I really loved your answers to our task for today, which is I would be further ahead in my purpose, but, and then all of those beautiful things that came up. And as I look through them, it's all down to the same thing, which is that there's something that I am personally missing, right? There's something wrong with me. Something slowed me down, right? Whether it was from inside or outside, it was something that happened to me or something that I did, a mistake that I made or a ton of mistakes that I made, which now mean that when everybody else can do this thing over there, I am not able to. I'm so happy, Jaquise, it seems, that you've jumped in on the exact right day. And then you can go back and watch day 1 and day 2. So my loves, this comes from something called the spiritual wound, and it's caused by something which is toxic shame. And toxic shame is the belief that deep within me, something is wrong. I am broken. I am not okay. 99.9% of people carry the spiritual wound and toxic shame because it's ancestral. It's passed down from one generation to the other. And there's not enough people yet doing the work of healing this toxic shame and this spiritual wound so that we can shift the tide and stop passing this trauma down to the lower and lower generations. Okay, so just to kind of give you an idea of where we get this from, I want to walk you back to infancy. When we are infants, when we are born, we require certain things to be okay, to be a being that feels and perceives themselves to be whole, okay? We need to be taken seriously. As an infant, we need our needs to be taken seriously. We need our needs to be validated, to be met consistently, right? And we need gentle, physical touching and holding. So these are the things that we personally need as tiny little newborn beings. And then we also require a set of characteristics. Yes, not passing it on to your kids. That's right, Judes. Oh, Heather, I hear you. Oh, I so hear you. Then we require a certain set of characteristics from our primary caregiver in order to also not receive the spiritual wound. And what we require is our primary caregiver, usually our mothers, to be comfortable in their skin, to feel good in their body, to know her place in the world, know and deeply accept and believe her place in the world, to believe that the world is positive, that the world is for you as opposed to against you, right? So these are all some things that we need as infants in order to be okay. Now, when that is missing, we receive the message, because as infants, actually under the age of about 12 years old, we're completely self-centric, which means that when something happens to us, it is because of us. We do not understand the concept of abstract logic, which means that, yes, I love that, Stephen. That's so good. That's delicious. That is so delicious. And which means we're self-centric and we don't understand abstract logic, we cannot perceive that something happens for any other reason other than us. It's only once we learn abstract logic about the age of 12 or 13 years old that we can actually put ourselves in someone else's shoes and understand that something that they did to us was not because of us, it was because of them, right? So everything before the age of 13, 12 happens to us because of us. So in infancy, if our basic human needs are not met, our most basic psychological needs are not met, we receive the message, I am not okay. Something is deeply wrong with me. Because if I was okay, my primary caregiver would give me everything that I need in order to be whole. Well, aren't we just fucked? Oh boy. Okay, so when that happens, we receive a fracturing of our soul identity. Okay, we receive a fracturing of our soul identity, and we start to deconstruct our soul self. Why? Because parts of our soul self, parts of the person that we showed up as, is not okay, is not getting the support that we need, is not getting the validation that we need, is not getting the approval that we need, is not getting the love, the unconditional love, acceptance, and everything that we needed in order to know that we are okay, right? So every time, and this starts from infancy, so it's completely unconscious. This is not something we do on purpose, right? Every single time we receive a message, it could be, let's see, the sun is a little bit bright there. That's better. It could be that we receive them, it could be just like a look. We do something and our primary giver or any caregiver does like a disapproval look. or pulls back instead of comes forward, or shames. Hey, don't do that. Don't cry. You calm down. Be a big girl, right? So anytime we receive any kind of disapproval for who we're just being, right? Because we're not doing anything on purpose. We're just being. We're showing up and being. Anytime we get a little bit of disapproval, our unconscious mind and our child self takes that little thing that we did and separates it, puts it on the back burner, shoves it under the carpet, puts it deep in a closet, buries it, right? It fractures. It starts to tear away pieces of our soul self that are deemed incomplete, unacceptable, just based on that disapproval that we're getting from our caregivers. Then we start to construct, shame, the big one. Then we start to construct a brand new personality based on getting the validation and approval that we do need as children from our parents, based on, it's so sad, based on their positive responses, okay? So we do something and our parent responds positively and we go, ooh, okay, that I'm keeping, cool. I'm gonna put that on the new version of me. And ooh, I said that wasn't good, so we're gonna tear that off. And then, I did this. Oh, they liked that, so I'm gonna keep that and I'm gonna put that as part of my personality. And we start creating this manufactured personality that is not right, that is not based on our original soul self and our original soul identity. Simply because as children, we require our parents' approval in order to survive. We need them to like us. We need them to love us. And there's not a divine knowing, there's an innate knowing. It's a survival instinct. We need our parents' approval in order to exist. Therefore, we're going to do what it takes to get their approval in order to make sure that we survive. So hard, right? And so we start to create this false veneer that keeps, guess what? Getting consistent, positive reinforcement throughout our lives. Right? Every time we do something that's in alignment with our parents' expectations of us, and they give us that positive approval or that validation that's not necessarily part of who we actually are as a soul, it reinforces this new veneer, this new fake version of ourselves. And we suppress our emotions because they're shamed. We're told constantly, smile, snap out of it if we're angry, calm down. You want to cry? I'll give you something to cry about, right? We're constantly shamed for having emotions. Yes, exactly, Miss Angie. You got it and won. Our dreams are poo-pooed. Our desires are poo-pooed. And so we stick all of that stuff under the carpet where it won't get us in trouble, where it won't get us invalidated. Oh, I know. It's so hard. And guess what? We've all got it because our parents all got it. And so there's not even anyone to blame. Fuck. We can't even blame anybody because our parents got that disapproval from their parents. You're too big for your britches. Calm down. Don't shine too brightly. Don't embarrass your brothers or sisters. Don't brag. Don't be arrogant. All that stuff. You're too tall, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too thin, all of that stuff, right? And so, our parents went through even worse, and then their parents went through it even worse, and up and up and up and up and up and up, till the, I did, till the dawn of time, right? So it is up to us to break those patterns and those cycles, but we all have to do it. And so that's why it takes time. Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I hear you, loves. So that's where imposter syndrome comes from. Yeah, absolutely. I hear that, Jaquise. That's where imposter syndrome comes from, right? Because there comes a time in our life where we realize that who we've been being and who we show up as is not who we actually are. And how we respond to things and how we've been trained to respond to things is not how we actually feel. And so we might say yes when we mean no. And we might say no, I won't do that, when we actually want to do that thing, right? Just over and over and over and over and over. So the real process of of healing this spiritual wound, of healing this, of healing this toxic shame is through, yeah, I totally hear that, is through reparenting ourselves. Oh, I know. We're loving on all of us. We're loving on all of us at this time right now. These beautiful, beautiful children of the world who have been just shamed for being. And we wonder why it's so fucking hard to figure out who we are and what we want to do and what our purpose is. We're born being our purpose. We're just so smothered and so shamed for who we are that it's hard to reconnect with it, right? So we're going to do a little exercise. We're not going to go through the entire process of reclaiming ourselves. Jude, yeah, you're so bratty. Yeah. So we're not going to go through the whole process of reparenting ourselves because that entire thing is a 6-month course. But we are going to do a little exercise now where we're just going to go and grab those fragments of our soul self and bring them back into us so that we can begin to feel like we're piecing ourselves back together. All right, my loves? Oh, so good. So fire. Love this. All right, so whenever you're ready, I'm going to take a sip of water. So go ahead and get comfy. Make sure you're not driving. Take some nice deep cleansing breaths, and on one of those breaths, allow your eyes to close. Hey, babe. For the next like 10-15 minutes, can you not go in and out? I'm just about to do hypnosis. Thank you. Is my little love, my little baby girl. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine breathing out any heaviness, any tension that you've been feeling for this last few days, or maybe even just these last few hours. Just breathe it out of your mouth. Give yourself permission to let it go. You don't have to hold on to it. It's not serving you in any way. There it is. And I'm actually going to put us all over a sacred medicine wheel. This is going to protect us as we do this process. It's a very vulnerable process. So I want you to imagine yourself floating over an equal-sided liquid silver X, or a cross if that feels comfortable to you. And in the center of that is a single thornless silver rose with gold stamens. Put yourself in the center of that rose and imagine a white light barrier all around the outside. Now you can't feel this, but we're actually all in the center of the rose together. It's beautiful. We're just a little community right now, all supporting each other, loving on each other. We're going to invite anyone on your team to come in, to step into this space, to assist you with this healing. Lots of you are getting cord detachments. There's some negative stuff hanging on to you, so they're just removing it. They're really active. They're moving so fast that they're blurry. That's fun. Cool. I'm going to step into the sacred medicine wheel with you to assist with this process as well. We're going to let your team continue to do some upgrades. They're going to remove some old stuff. They're going to go ahead and help your emotions to shift out of certain pockets in your body. You might feel this weird, I call it weird, but nothing's weird in my world. You might feel this sudden urge to release emotion, which could come as crying or like just breathing out. Don't let anything bubble up and stay. Just breathe it out. Let it come out. Give yourself permission to release and let it go. They are doing active work to help you heal right in this moment. Okay, and inside, excellent work, everybody. Inside the single silver thornless rose with gold stamens, the healing temple exists. And we're all going to move into the healing temple, and we're each going to be in our own little sections. It's huge, so don't worry, you won't bump into anybody, and you won't affect anybody else with your process. There are limitless resources within this beautiful space, so you having as much as you need is not going to diminish anyone else's experience. Excellent. There's a receiving of that. Fantastic. Now move to your pod. And it could be, your pod could be like a little chamber, a little tube. It could be a chair. It could be a chaise. Mine is usually a chaise. Or a recliner, or a sofa, maybe a comfy bed, maybe an ergonomic something. However seems to be appropriate for you. Beautiful. Good, good, good. A few people still finding their pods and settled. Excellent. Now the first thing I want you to become aware of is the cleansing fire of cosmos. Now this fire is not it's not hot enough to burn you, okay? So you might feel warmth, you might feel a tingling sensation, but what this fire does, and it's kind of multicolored in some aspects. For you, it might show up in a different way. The way it shows up for me is multicolored flame, kind of like in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with that big monster at the beginning that has that flame. It kind of shows up like that, kind of cosmic flame. And it's going to move through you. It's going to move through you from front to back, from top to bottom. It's going to move all around your energy field. It's going to cleanse and clear you completely. And for some of you, I can feel it moving systematically through different parts of your body, being very thorough. And some of you, I can feel it going whoop, whoop, and just going whoo, which is fun. Good. Beautiful. Gorgeous. And as soon as some of that beautiful stuff happens, all of the ickiness and lots of the heaviness is just going to simply dissolve and evaporate. You don't need it. It's old programming. It's old paradigm. You just simply don't need it anymore. Old systems. Good. We're going to ask for grace and integration within your physical body and within your life so that nothing falls away drastically or suddenly. You're not dropped too far. Good. Beautiful. There's a big yes on that. Okay, so they're going to do a graceful transition. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I want you to imagine that a liquid silver is coming in. A liquid, maybe not silver, maybe just a liquid metal. And this is a beautiful healing process. It's kind of like nanites. I'm super Marvel-y, by the way, but I'm super a superhero nerd. It's kind of like nanites, even though it's like a liquid. But this is in your highest best interest, okay? So this is a beautifully supportive liquid metal that's come here to piece you back together again. It will leave your body, don't worry. It's not going to create any kind of residue within you. You're going to be completely safe throughout this. Good. Beautiful. So as that liquid moves within you, what it's going to do is it's going to start to reach deep into the recesses of your unconscious mind, deep into your soul, where fragments of your original soul self and your original soul identity have been stored, have been hidden away. And because it's liquid metal, it can easily gather up all these pieces of self. Those pieces of self just liquefy into this liquid metal process. Beautiful. Coming to center. For some of you, I can feel the soul rebuilding itself at the toes and like just rebuilding all the way up. That's beautiful. Go with it. For some of you, I can feel it's more like just your soul self repieces itself together as a whole, complete unit in the center of you. Some of you have so many fragments that the silver is still working to collect them all. Yes, gorgeous. Metal, thank you. Not necessarily silver in color. wholeness. Now you are a whole, complete being, and all parts of yourself have been retrieved and pieced back together seamlessly, effortlessly. Because, kind of like liquid metal, the soul desires, it craves to be whole. It does not choose to be separated or fragmented. Good. And then the liquid metal leaves completely, leaving no trace. Excellent. Now, imagine pouring into the top of your head, or moving in through fingertips or toes, a cooling water. It's going to soothe any parts of your being that are kind of red hot with this process. It was a very intense process, and some parts might be hot or aggravated, so this beautiful water is coming in to soothe the process, to soothe your body, to soothe your physical energy system. Beautiful. Washing away any of the impurities that were shifted out of your cells, out of your energy body during the last 2 phases of this healing. Imagining the water just kind of opens up almost like a waterfall, just pouring all through you, over you, down, moving out those impurities, moving out those toxins, anything that doesn't belong. Gorgeous. Yes. And now imagining that red clay is packed all around you. You can still breathe easily and effortlessly, as you can when the water's pouring over you, by the way. And as that red clay is packed around you, not only do any remaining impurities move out into the clay, but the red clay feeds into your body all the nutrients that you need. Feeling safe, feeling held in this space. And I can feel someone has a little tinge of claustrophobia. So let the clay be a little lighter. Let it have some space between you and your body so it doesn't feel like you're stuck or trapped in a small space. Yeah, there you go. And now more water, washing it away. Washing away that clay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. As it leaves a gorgeous, soft, glistening glow on your skin. Your body feeling so replenished and energized. And now a beautiful breeze just instantly, magically drying you, because in your imagination anything is possible. And just activating, energizing your cells, and just kind of blowing away the last of the cobwebs, bringing in this beautiful clarity. And then I want you to notice that there's a rack on the side, and that rack is just for you, and it's garments. And as you walk over to that rack, you start to notice that there are all kinds of protective symbols on these garments from every religion, race, belief system, planet, universe. All of the protective symbols that have ever been created have been woven into these garments. And I want you to pick one protective cloak that is just for you. Put it on, notice how it feels, notice how shimmery, or perhaps what the texture of the cloak is like. Notice how you feel when you're wearing it. And notice that it integrates with your system, with your energy system, almost sewing itself, attaching itself to you so that it becomes part of you and you are always divinely, uniquely protected. Beautiful. And imagine, in one last effort, we all form a circle We could be holding hands, but we don't need to be because energetically we're all connected. Beaming love to the person either side of you and then across the circle to all of those. Allowing yourself to receive this love from these complete strangers who don't know you. Noticing that everybody has your highest and best intention at heart. Feeling that sense of connection. Feeling that sense of community around you. Gorgeous. Until it locks into place. Yes. And one is thanking everybody for being here, thanking your team. I'm stepping out of your sacred medicine wheel, taking with me what is mine, leaving with you what is yours. Your team is going to finish healing, closing up anything that was opened to assist with this process today. 2 is a nice deep cleansing breath, exiting from this temple of healing. 3, coming back to the body, feeling a wonderful sense of well-being. 4, an even more alert number. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake, and alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake, and alert. Hi. This hair. How you doing? Everybody back? Who felt like we were actually between space and time right then? When I opened my eyes, I was like, oh yeah, here we are on Earth. On Earth, on this live right now. Oh, how are you feeling? How was that? Could you feel that sense of wholeness as your pieces came back together? Tell me. Right? Isn't it beautiful, Kadra? You can go back anytime. Yes! Gorgeous! I know, isn't it so beautiful? I love that, Chakis. Yeah, Johanna. I could feel us all together. It was so lovely. I know, right? It's so nice there. It's so nice there. Now, one thing I do want to say, right? Totally floaty. Oh, wow. Kadra saw flashes of everything as we described it. Yes, Alexis was deep in her trance. Glynis felt light. Yes, gorgeous. Oh, I know, right? Jasmine feels cool and refreshed. Yeah, and Angie felt us in a circle. Heather went out on a tangent, came back at clay. Oh, yeah, it was probably so intense for you, Heather, that your brain was like, okay, you go ahead and do this bit. It's too much for me. Rachel felt like there were pieces floating. She asked her team to bring them in. Gorgeous. Stephen, yes. Yes, agreed. That's the point. That's the purpose. That's why we're here. I love that. Aranus felt beautiful, like it was an ancient ritual. I'm sure that it is. It was a ritual given to me. It was a process given to me directly from my team, and those are certainly ancient beings. So I'm sure that that it was some sort of ancient ritual. Gorgeous. How's everybody feeling? Feeling good? I love that one. Oh, one thing. Oh, felt like Tetris. I love it. Kimberly, every time you're on a meditation with me, your doorbell rings. Oh, clear body fluid surrounded by sparkly love. It's funny. Oh, and Rachel picked out a plump silk jumpsuit. Ooh, with pockets. Fun. Chakis feels a small tightness on the right side of your neck. Yes. Okay. Let's see. It was just a little attachment, babe. You were a little bit open, so I went ahead and removed that for you. Right, Alexis? It just felt so nice to feel like we were all supporting each other. Martina, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here today with me, darlings, and holding the space with me. Tomorrow, we have one more class. I know it's only a 3-day a challenge, but it's actually a 4-day challenge, because tomorrow's class is, okay, now that we've worked on some of the stuff that gets in our way of finding our purpose, how do we actually find our purpose? So join me tomorrow. I think it's 5. I'll make sure to send out, I'll put the info in the email, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. Love, 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 love. So much love to you. Bye. You're so welcome. Oh, talk to it, babe. Find out what it needs from you. Yay for one more day. Yeah, I'm sure your team did continue to do work while you were away. Castle. Perfect. Bye. Oh, just in time. My battery just flashed 20%. Bye.